Have you ever noticed how some people leave, but never really go? How they disappear, taking a piece of your peace with them, only to circle back again, like the tide returning to kiss the same shore it once abandoned. This isn't by accident. Today, your angels want you to understand something deeply powerful. Every time he leaves, something beyond logic and explanation pulls him back to you. And this something is more than just memory, more than mere desire. It's soul-level gravity. There's a sacred reason why this connection refuses to dissolve. At first, it might feel like a loop, like you're stuck in a pattern where nothing ever changes. But look deeper. Each return carries a shift, a silent evolution, a truth he couldn't face the last time, but is now being called to confront. Because the love he feels for you, it isn't ordinary. It doesn't obey timing or logic or convenience. It's the kind of love that grows in silence, that aches in distance, that whispers in dreams. The angels show me that every time he tries to forget, something happens. A sign, a song, a moment that leads him right back to thoughts of you. Sometimes it's a scent that reminds him of your hair. Other times, it's a place you once passed together, now suddenly glowing with memory. And sometimes, it's just the emptiness, his soul missing something it hasn't found in anyone else. He tries to explain it to himself, but nothing makes sense. Because this isn't about sense. It's about soul. Dear soul, what you need to know is that you are not imagining this bond. That pull you feel, that longing that arrives without warning, is mirrored within him. He feels it too, even if pride or fear silence his words. Even if his actions say otherwise. He might distract himself, date someone else, bury himself in work. But the truth follows him like a shadow, undeniable, unshakable. Because you have awakened something in him that he didn't know was still alive, the capacity to feel deeply, to hope again, to believe that maybe, just maybe, love could be real this time. The angels say he sees you everywhere, in kindness, in light, in the quiet space between thoughts. And with every departure, something in him breaks a little more, because he knows what he's leaving behind. What's even more incredible is that you have never chased him. You didn't beg. You didn't plead. You simply stood in your truth, with grace, dignity, and an energy so rare that it haunted him. You became the mirror he wasn't ready to look into, but couldn't resist returning to. And now, his heart is restless. Your presence has imprinted something divine upon his spirit, and no matter how far he tries to run, he ends up at your doorstep, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. He may not have the words yet, but his soul remembers. And the angels want you to prepare, because he's approaching a breaking point. A moment of truth where he can no longer live in denial. A moment where he'll either surrender to this connection or finally admit the magnitude of what it is he's running from. And that moment is close. Closer than you think. So what should you do in the meantime? Breathe. Stay open. Live. Love. Be. Your role in this isn't to fix, chase, or wait in suffering. Your role is to remain rooted in your own light, your own joy. Because every time he leaves and returns, he's not just returning to you, he's returning to the version of himself that only exists in your presence. The one that is brave, honest, whole. That's the magic you hold. You are the home he never found in anyone else. And here's the most beautiful truth of all. The reason this pattern keeps repeating is not because you are unfinished, but because the divine timing for this connection is still unfolding. Each cycle is a layer being peeled back, a veil being lifted, a truth being uncovered. And when the final veil falls, when he is finally ready to not just return, but stay, you'll recognize it not by his words, but by the peace in your own heart. Because there will be no more running, only arriving. Now, if your soul felt seen in this message, if a part of you whispered, "Yes, this is mine," then this was meant for you. And the angels ask one small thing. Take this as your sign to trust what you feel. Not the silence, not the distance, but the pull. Because when the soul recognizes home, nothing can keep it away for long. Before we go deeper into this message, I want you to pause and feel this. What if this is not just a love story, but a soul agreement unfolding in divine rhythm? Take a deep breath, and if your heart is ready to receive the next part of this message, now is the time to say yes to your own journey, to your own awakening, to your own magic. And if you feel called, if something in you is whispering, "Don't stop now," then write this in your heart and maybe even in the comments below. I claim this soul truth. Because what comes next might change everything. The angels are now revealing something extraordinary, something that may explain why, no matter how far he drifts, something always pulls him back to you. And it begins with the soul contract you both carry. Yes, this goes far beyond attraction, beyond coincidence, beyond even love as we commonly understand it. Your souls made an agreement. Long before you met in this lifetime, there was a knowing, a choice, a purpose. He chose to find you again. You chose to be his mirror, his anchor, his awakening. And that's why nothing, absolutely nothing, can sever this invisible golden thread between you. It stretches, it strains, it bends, but it never breaks. Every time he walks away, he is being pulled into a lesson, a mirror, a moment that reveals just how much he still fears love. Real love. The kind that sees him, holds him, and demands his full truth. And every time he returns, it's not just longing or nostalgia bringing him back, it's soul recognition. A knowing that in your eyes, he is remembered. Not for what he does, but for who he truly is. Your presence activates something divine in him. Not just the desire to be loved, but the desire to become worthy of that love. To heal, to grow, to evolve. And right now, your angels say, he is waking up. The dreams are becoming more vivid. The signs more obvious. The pull more irresistible. He can no longer silence the voice that whispers your name when he's alone. That voice isn't memory, it's soul memory. It's the echo of all the lifetimes where he found you and lost you. And now in this life, he's being asked to choose differently. But choosing love, true, unfiltered, spiritually aligned love, is not easy for someone whose heart has been wounded by fear and rejection. So what does he do? He tests it. He runs. He retreats. He watches to see if you'll still be there. If your energy still feels like home. And when it does, he returns, again and again. But this time is different. The angels show that he's nearing a turning point. A moment where he'll be forced to stop orbiting around the truth and finally land inside it. He's realizing now that the love he feels for you isn't a phase. It's not infatuation. It's not just chemistry. It's something sacred. It's something written. And it terrifies him. Because to truly surrender to you, he must first surrender his ego, his illusions, his need to control what is meant to flow. And that, dear soul, is the work of awakening. You are not here to wait. You are not here to suffer in silence. You are here to rise, to become the fullest, brightest version of yourself, with or without him. because only then will this connection find the ground it needs to blossom. So the question the angels now ask you is this: will you continue to be the light, even when it hurts? Will you keep your heart open, not because you're waiting, but because it's who you are? You see, your love is not weak. It is not naive. It is not desperate. It is divine. It is magnetic. And it is being felt, even when words are absent. Right now, this person is circling you emotionally, spiritually. They may not have said it out loud, but they are preparing, watching, searching for the courage to return not just in body, but in truth. And when that moment comes, and it will, everything will shift. He will say what he could never say before. He will finally share the reasons behind the silence, the running, the resistance. And you will see in his eyes that he never truly left. He was only trying to find the strength to come home. But here's what matters most. Whether he comes back today, next week, or next season, your life is not on hold. Your joy, your growth, your radiance, these things do not depend on him. They depend on you. So live, create, shine, be the soul you came here to be. Because the more you rise, the more he will remember why he was drawn to you in the first place. And if your spirit knows this to be true, if you've ever felt this magnetic dance between souls, this invisible pull that defies logic, then claim this moment. Feel it. Write it in your heart. He may leave, but something always brings him back. Because love like this was never meant to be forgotten. Now, if you've felt chills, if your heart is racing just a little, that's your sign. Your angels are near. And they're not done speaking. The next part of this message holds the missing piece, the truth about why you were chosen to be his awakening. Are you ready? You see, dear soul, it's not just that he keeps coming back. It's that you were sent to be the lighthouse in his storm. Not to fix him. Not to rescue him. But to remind him of what's possible when love is real, honest, and divinely guided. Your energy carries something ancient, something he's felt before, in other lifetimes, in other realms. That's why even when he doesn't understand it, he feels it. That's why your presence disrupts his certainty. Because your light calls out his shadow, and he doesn't know how to respond to that, yet. But the truth is, his soul chose you as a catalyst. Your love is the spark, the mirror, the invitation to come home to himself. And while that might sound like a burden, it's not. Because you didn't choose it randomly. You agreed to this role before either of you came into this world. And now the angels say, the time is approaching when he will begin to remember. He will remember why he met you. He will remember the promises whispered between souls before this lifetime began. He will remember that this isn't just about romance. It's about healing, evolution, completion. You were placed in his life to guide him back to his heart, and he, without knowing it, was placed in yours to unlock your highest light, to test the strength of your love, to show you just how much power you carry when you choose to remain open, even when it would be easier to shut down. So what now? The angels are gently whispering that he's on the edge of a spiritual shift. You might start to feel his presence more strongly in your energy field. You may notice synchronicities, dreams, flashes of intuition that confirm what you already know. Something is stirring. Something is aligning. Something is awakening. He may not show up with flowers or grand declarations, at least not yet. But there will be signs. A sudden message. An unexpected visit. A soft vulnerability in his eyes that wasn't there before. And in that moment, everything inside you will know, the cycle is breaking. This isn't another loop. This is the return that finally brings him home, not just to you, but to himself. Until then, the angels have one final message. Do not lower your light. Do not shrink. Do not beg for love that is already yours on a soul level. Instead, rise even higher. Nourish your gifts. Fill your own cup. Create beauty. Speak truth. Because when he comes back, and he will, he needs to find you radiant, not waiting. The version of you who lives fully, regardless of who's watching, is the version who magnetizes miracles. Now, if your heart felt every word of this, if something deep within you just exhaled and said, yes, this is my story, then this was meant for you. And I invite you, with all the love of the angels guiding these words, to make this moment sacred. Whisper it softly, or write it boldly. I am the light he always returns to. And let that truth carry you. Because what's coming next will not only surprise you, it will elevate you. The reunion your soul has been preparing for is not a matter of if, but when. Trust the pull. Feel the alignment. And know this, he's already on his way. And when he arrives, truly arrives, it will be the beginning, not the end. The angels are smiling now, because they know that the next chapter of your story will be written in love.